Hope Channel, changing lives.
It is our first show in the year 2022, so it's just proper. I greet you and say Happy New Year to all the amazing audience of the channel Hope TV Ghana and of this very wonderful show, Real Talk. Happy New Year. My prayer is that this year comes with its blessings, favor, mercy, love, joy. And whatever challenge that is thrown at us this year, the good Lord will give us the grace to face it and fight the battle to victory. Welcome once again to Real Talk. My name is Evie, the usual hostess of the show. I am on your screens on Hope TV Ghana. And today we have come your way with yet another interesting episode of Real Talk. There's this popular proverb that says cleanliness is next to godliness. This expression just tries to show the idea that when you are pure and wholesome, you are closer to God. And today's story, we are not just going to look at the spiritual cleanliness, we are going to look at the physical one as well. So taking care of your body, your personal grooming, making sure your body scent is pleasant. I mean, brushing your teeth, washing your laundry, just overall cleanliness. I beg your pardon. And the story on our table today is from a young woman who is obviously frustrated because her fiancé has decided not to take care of himself. He's not bathing, he's probably not cleaning his teeth, he's not using the bathroom and wiping himself off well. It's just a lot of details in the story. Hopefully we are able to find some solution for this woman, and hopefully we are able to give this man some tips to make sure he just takes care of himself. He's a grown person and he should be able to take personal hygiene seriously. I think it's one of the deal breakers when it comes to attraction in relationships. And today we are going to be discussing the story, obviously, with great personalities in the studio and joining me virtually as well via Zoom. Before I introduce my guests to you, I'd like to remind you that we are live on Facebook, Hope TV Ghana, and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. Join the conversation live by leaving your comments under the comments section, your thoughts, your opinions, your agreement, your disagreement. And as the discussion goes on, I will make sure I read some of the comments and thoughts you have left under the comments section. Also, I'd like to remind you of our beautiful sponsor, ATL, Akosombo Textiles Limited. My beautiful fabric is from ATL. Make sure that whatever the occasion, ATL has got you because they are bringing fabrics to life. So just go to any of their stores, get any fabric that you like, and make sure your seamstress or tailor designs it beautifully for you. Okay, so I would want us to say hi to our guests in the studio and virtually as well. And I'm going to start with the guest in the studio, Mrs. Celestina Owusu. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. How's the new year? How is the year starting now?
We are managing, you know, new year, new vibes, everything. New year, new me.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So
do you have any New Year resolutions?
they are personal.
Okay. Hopefully we get them done.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so joining me virtually, I have Nadeline Ainchi. Nadeline is joining me all the way in the States. Nadeline, can you hear me?
I can.
How are you doing? It's great to have you. I'm sure we've had some challenges over the past few weeks, and today is a good time to have you on the show, ready to have this discussion. How is the new year starting for you? How is work? How is family? How is life abroad?
Cold, very cold. We are stuck in snow all over.
Right.
Here. We're buried, but we're thankful that we're still surviving.
Yes, we are thankful that we are still surviving. I am sure you're ready for the discussion.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, okay, it's great to have you. The next person joining me is Clement Apiakubi. Clement, good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, so I hear Clement is unfortunately not with us now, and I'll make sure I check in with him later. I'd like us to take a look at our story, but before we do so, let's just take some words from our sponsors. When we come back, I'll read the story, then we just go straight into the discussion. This is Real Talk. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Inspirational choir Elijah comes away with an inaugural concert titled Hope to see you there. Don't miss it.
For the lack of knowledge you will perish, as the Bible says in Hosea 4 verse 6.
The grace, the blood of Jesus is there for us. So I can't be sick, I can't be poor, I cannot suffer affliction.
Jesus told you, be faithful unto death to receive the crown of life. We have to go through tribulation, have to go through problems, because there will be no crown without a cross.
The verse says that we will go through afflictions because of his name's sake.
Yes.
There are lots of eye-opening discussions to prepare you for the second coming of Jesus Christ.
That quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. My name is Evie. Joining me in the studio, I have Celestina. Virtually, I have Nadeline and Clement. Unfortunately, Clement has a bit of technical issues. We'll try and check in with him as we continue with the show. So as I mentioned, today's story is all about cleanliness, and we have a couple that are obviously going through some struggles because the lady feels her gentleman is not clean, but he is offended and upset when this issue is brought up to him. I'll just go ahead and then make sure I read our story. Hopefully you guys understand exactly what is going on. Then we can see how best to solve this problem. So let me just pull up our story and then we continue. But then, like I said, if you're now joining us, you can join us live on Facebook, you can join us live on YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So this story goes on to say, dear Real Talk, my fiance and I have been dating for about a year. We are preparing to get married next year. With the marriage being so close, I'm beginning to wonder if I can marry this man. The reason is that my fiance is a very dirty man. What made it worse is when I discovered poop stains in his boxer shorts the day I offered to do his laundry for him. At his age, can't he wipe himself off well when he uses the bathroom? I was so disgusted. Whenever we eat together, I can't continue eating the food because of how nasty he eats. His entire mouth and beard will even eat some of the food. He does this at restaurants too. Oh, guess what? He can go days without bathing. When I complain, he tells me too much bathing will strip off his good body bacteria. I don't know if there's a way to help him or if he really wants the help. But looking at all this, I don't think I can live with such a filthy man. I desperately need solutions or an approach to solving this. Recently, I brought it up and he took great offense. He didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. Please give me some wise counsel because I am about giving up on this relationship. So we have our work cut out for us, and it's great that we do have some health personalities in the studio and even offline join me via Zoom, because he made a claim that too much bathing will strip off the good bacteria on his body. And so we'll find out in a bit. But Celestina, what came to mind when you just heard the story, your initial thoughts?
Okay, when I first read the story, I was like, what grown-ass man can go days without taking his bath and thinking bathing will strip off his good bacteria, body bacteria?
Right.
Okay, so my take on this story is a very dicey situation and needs a very good approach to tackle it. The lady needs patience, she needs love, understanding, time to talk to the guy so that it wouldn't cause any problem. Secondly, I think the guy has to admit there is a problem.
Right.
Then there can be a solution. So that is
your take.
Yes.
Okay, coming to you, Nadlin. What came to mind when you heard the story?
Ill. That's what came to mind. But I don't know if there's an awareness on the guy's part either. It's more than just the body odor. You know, it's basically being able to have a conversation with somebody without it ending in a fight or a serious. You should be able to have a conversation with your spouse or with whomever without it causing a bigger issue than it is.
Right.
Especially about things like this, where it's for his own well-being, and it's for, you know, the health of the relationship. Really, I mean, for a healthy relationship, you should be willing to be open to have those type of conversations. My other question is, when did she know that he had these habits? How long had they been dating? Is that something she didn't catch on immediately?
So she says she obviously saw the poop stains when she decided to help him out with his laundry. So then before then, probably she's seen the restaurant issue of him eating anyhow. But what obviously got her so upset to the point of thinking if she can move on with the relationship was because of the poop stains that she found in his boxer shorts, which is crazy. But Nadlin, you are in healthcare. Right, you are in healthcare.
Yes, I am.
So then my question would be, what is this thing about stripping off good bacteria, and then also looking at discussing personal hygiene and its importance in general?
Okay, so yes, that's in from the health care aspect of it, I don't think that has anything to do with you bathing, right? So there's all types of ways that you can strip good bacteria from your body, and truly, medically, none of it really comes from you bathing more than however time. That is just, I haven't seen that anywhere. I haven't heard that anywhere. I haven't seen that in a book anywhere. I don't know where that came from. Now, you can cleanse bacteria. You can, relieve yourself of bacteria, but it has nothing to do with your physical skin, right? Because we all know that your skin has 3 layers. So you have your initial layer, your epidermis, your dermis, before you even get to that skin of stripping. You should not be able to strip that bacteria from bathing.
Right.
There's no medical. So if you're asking me if there's a medical logic to that, there isn't.
Okay.
I know of anyway.
Okay, there's no medical logic to it. But coming to you, Celestina, you're also in the health profession. Yeah. Let's talk about personal hygiene and its importance in general.
Okay. So personal hygiene there are practices we practice on our body to prevent infections and then causing sickness. Something like brushing your teeth, taking your bath twice a day, at least twice a day.
Yeah.
Some importance of personal hygiene is it prevents diseases, just like I said. It also helps you to boost your immunity and then your confidence level when you go to places. You feel accepted when you are around people, because if you have body odor, and then whenever you open your mouth, people hear a lot of odor from your mouth. It's obvious you always keep quiet, even if you have something to say.
Right.
And just like you said initially, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yes, that's very true. I hear Clement is back with us. Clement, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Yes. It's great to have you back joining us. I would ask you your general take on the story, and then you're a man. So then my question to you will be, why would a grown man, as Celestina said, a grown-ass man, why would he be comfortable living this kind of lifestyle? What do you think could be the possible reasons why he would be comfortable living in filth?
Okay, so I'll begin with the general take.
Right.
Starting with, I can see the story so far portrays a picture in 2 dimensions. The first one portrays a young lady who is worried, devastated, trying to cope with certain red flags emanating from her relationship. The second picture too also portrays a young guy who is also ignorant, not trying to open up for change or reformation, and trying to see everything to be okay and perfect in his lifestyle. Now, back to the second question too. Why would a grown man be comfortable living with this kind of condition? I would say that the young guy is trying to be ignorant. He's not trying to open up for things that's being said about him. I mean, the red flags that were being picked by the fiancé, being it the temperament, second, the personal hygiene matter, and then the third one too is the table manners. So the personal hygiene, I think there's an issue with the upbringing of the guy.
Okay.
Society has a role to play. At the same time, too, he himself is trying to play an ignorant role, not trying to pin up to certain things revolving around his lifestyle.
Okay. So Clement obviously thinks that there's an issue with his upbringing. But do you think there's a background issue? Do you think it's home upbringing? Do you think he picked it somewhere? And I remember Nadeline asked a good question. Is she now noticing all these red flags?
Okay, so from the first question you asked, whether I think it's upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, there is this theory, psychosocial development by Sigmund Freud.
Okay.
It talks about 5 stages of development of a child.
Okay.
We have the oral stage, we have the anal stage, the phallic stage, the latency stage, and then the genital stage. So each stage teaches the kid or the child how to play some roles. So let's say for the oral stage, it teaches the child how to eat during breastfeeding, how to suckle the mother's breast, how to swallow during the anal stage, how to clean yourself, how to be able to contain yourself whenever you want to eat yourself and then it's not appropriate.
Right.
So I think this guy wasn't trained well during those stages. You know, some mothers feel it's normal. Oh, jai no oya kara onya obe jai, that kind of thing. So I think the upbringing also talks a lot. And then with what you just asked, is she now realizing that this is, you know, ladies sometimes see the red flags in a relationship and then think he will grow out of it. No man will change if you can't change a man if he is not willing to change.
Okay.
So if the guy is not seeing any problem with the situation, there is no solution for him.
Right.
Once he sees there is a problem, that is when the lady can go ahead and then help him solve the problem. So that is mine.
Okay, thank you, Nadeline. If you can hear me, I would come to you now and ask. Obviously, Celestina thinks that if the guy doesn't see it as a problem, then there's no help. But do you think there's a solution for this? If you do think so, what can she do to help him? And also, what can he do to help himself?
I think the question is he willing to help himself, right? Like, is he even willing to accept whatever, you know, she's giving him? Criticism, constructive, inconstructive, however it may be. That's the first step, because you can't help anybody, just like, you know, Celestine, you can't help them if they're not willing to help themselves. So the first step will be, is he willing for the help? But if he is willing, there are definitely ways and things that you can do to help him. I mean, you can start off by letting him know this is some of the things you want to learn. You know, you can start off by just being honest with him. You know, some of these things, there's not a very easy way to say it. You know, it's kind of like having a coworker with a smell and you're the one that's tasked with telling them you have a smell. You can't say it in any way, but you have a smell, or you can't say it in. There's no nice way to say something that doesn't sound nice. But that's a part of us being adults, right? And a part of us being older and mature to be able to handle some of those things. So I think the first thing to do is just to be straightforward about what you're saying, without sounding insensitive, because the way you say it is also going to play a really important role. If you say, man, Charlie, you smell, I can't do this, that's going to come off different than if you say, listen, I really want to have a serious conversation with you about this issue because it's bothering me. Psychologically, try using I statements so it doesn't seem like you're pointing the finger at that person. So I feel that, we can do that. I feel versus saying you should. Try using I statements. I think that's a good way to kind of balance the whole issue and let them really know how you're feeling and how this is affecting you. So back to the I statement. I feel that this is affecting our relationship because I can't do A, B, C, D, E. I feel that so they can really understand where you're coming from. He may not even be taking it seriously. You know how guys can be sometimes. He may be thinking, she's making a big deal out of it. It's nothing that serious. And it's really bothering her. For her to come to this extent, it must be really bothering her. So using some of those things may be able to help the situation.
Okay, thank you so much. Clement, since you joined us late, I obviously would like to pick your mind on the red flags. We've spoken about how she couldn't, did she encourage it? Did she close her eyes to the bad table manners, general bad hygiene? Did it have to get to the point where she offered to do laundry for him and realized that he was that filthy? What would have happened if she never did his laundry and they got married? So I would like you to speak on the red flags, and then you could speak on the approach. You're a guy, so probably you have an idea how best she can approach him with this matter, and the solution she can offer him and how she can go about it. And also, as a guy, do you think this man is willing to listen and help himself come out of this obviously very nasty behavior?
Okay, so Evie, the red flags in this context are the temperament issue, the personal hygiene, then the table manners. So with the temperament, I know we have about 4 temperaments, of which every individual has the 4 in him. But we have 2 that often dominate. We have the melancholy, the sanguine, the choleric, and the other one. But sometimes within this context, with people who are so temperament, they tend to show one of these dominant ones in their behavior, trying to be angry all the time, trying to be emotional all the time. But regards to how the lady to help him depends on the mode of communication. Communication is very, very important here. Assuming I'm at fault, and maybe I'm not aware that I'm at fault of something, and you have seen it as a red flag for me, what is the mode of communicating it to me? Should it be like finding out the poop stain in his boxes? How does the lady communicate it to the guy? Oh, a branch where you do is your let we are going to be power to one year, yes, in quote. Sometimes when you communicate it this way, the person will not be able to open up for a change or information. Yes. Another thing too, on the side of the guy, I think we are all human. We all have our peak level when it comes to temperament. We all show signs of emotion at certain times, but we have to deal with it. We need to be very, very meticulous. We need to always try to form a shield around our emotional issues. We need not to be throwing tantrum at anything that is being said about us. At least a guy like this throwing tantrum in a dating side of his relationship, I foresee he kicking the lady when they get married, when certain things are not in the right order, when certain sensitive issues are trying to be addressed in this regard. So one, the temperament side, the guy needs to deal with it on his own. Either he seek a second opinion, a counselor who is supposed to help him out. On the side of the lady too, to resolve the temperament issue, she needs to communicate well to the lady as well. That's one important aspect of it. On the side of the personal hygiene, I'm a guy, I know most guys growing up within our peer group, sometimes you need to, we try to adapt certain behavioral patterns on our way of life. Sometimes some group will say, oh, bathing once a day is okay. Brushing the teeth once a day is okay. At least if I brush my teeth in the morning, it's fine. When I bath once in the morning, it's fine. But on the normal context of personal hygiene, it goes contrary to that. So I don't side with the guy by saying that bathing regularly, try to wash away our normal microbial flora. No, it's not like that. Just like what Nadine said, the skin is made in such a way that it contains normal microbial flora that protects the skin from any foreign body. But the thing is, when you bath, when you put on deodorant, when you put on body splash, it helps in this normal microbial flora for them to adapt very well on the skin. So while you are not bathing and you are exposing the body to foreign materials or foreign organisms, you are on that way to trying to deplete the skin of this normal microbial flora that's protecting the skin. So you are exposed to common dermatological conditions that can affect the skin.
Right. Thank you.
On the side of the table manners, my last thing.
Okay.
I think this one too falls down on the developmental milestone of the guy. I will still stand on the fact that society has a role to play here. Let's take, for instance, when we do a retrospective overview or a study on how this guy was raised up in his environment, maybe the parents were not taking much interest on how he eats at home during when he was a kid. At the same time, too, I don't know whether with the peer group that he was involved with, whether they were able to also pick those staffs around him in the manner in which he eats with them. That's another thing. So dealing with this, I don't think he can deal with it alone, but it involves a second party.
Right.
The lady in question is one, and then a counselor or a clergy who is well seasoned in how to counsel people out of this context.
Right. Okay, thank you. I'll come to you again, Celestina. I just want to talk about approach here.
Okay.
Because she obviously wants to know if she can do something about it before deciding on whatever decision she wants to take. But what do you think, in your opinion, is the best approach? Do you think she needs to introduce a counselor to him? Do you think she needs to let him take a course in table manners and manners in general? Do you think she needs to be exposing him to documentary on how bad hygiene can affect? Like, what is the approach here to get his mind to start thinking of how serious his condition is?
Okay, so before I come to the approach, you know men have ego.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so when you are talking to a man and you just go by, why didn't you brush your teeth? Why haven't you taken your bath and all those stuff? He would definitely get angry.
Okay.
So I think the approach the lady needs to do is like clean after him whenever she's around. So when a guy comes back from work and then he needs to take his bath, maybe he's feeling lazy, maybe he's tired, that's why he's not taking his bath. So you can just fetch water to the bathroom for him. The moment he enters, you just tell him, oh, your water is at the bathroom, so you can go and take your bath. It's like you are now training him to become what you want.
Okay.
Whenever you are eating with him, with a beard, eating and then everything, you just give him a tissue. Sweetheart, let me clean your mouth for you, like a baby. I think that is how she has to treat the guy till he gets used to how the lady wants him to be. And then if that approach isn't working, they definitely have a counselor who is counseling them for their marriage.
Right.
They can bring him in to help talk things over with the guy. So I think that is the best approach, in my opinion,
in your opinion.
the lady should go by.
Okay. So guys, you've heard we're still talking about, obviously, this man's dirtiness and how it's affecting his relationship and even care is not taken his marriage. And so I'd like to go for a short break. When we come back, we will continue with the conversation. We will look at how best this lady can make a decision, and if this man's behavior is a good reason for her to leave the relationship. And obviously the final words from our guests in the studio. Please leave your comments under the comment section. I'll read them immediately we come back, so that we can enjoy a live conversation in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is Real Talk.
Celebrations showing this on every Friday at 6 p.m. only on Hope Channel Ghana.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Hope Bible School.
I understand we are created in the likeness of God. God is not a slave. Is it because we have lost our place? That is why we are considered slaves.
Why did Christ have to say he's sanctifying himself? Did he have any sin in him? Because we understood Christ never sinned, right?
Is prayer the way for responding to my suffering?
Why do you think, based on all that we have said, we feel guilty? Okay, we feel guilty. There's this sense of shame when we still sin. Why do you think that we feel shameful?
Quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV, coming your way with Real Talk. So today we've been discussing a very dicey topic from a young lady who says her fiancé is one of the dirtiest men alive. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but he's obviously a filthy man. She complains that he doesn't like taking his baths. He eats in a nasty manner, even when they go out to restaurants. His beard and his mouth, everything will be eating some of the food they're both enjoying. And I think what broke the camel's back for her was when she offered to do his laundry, only to see poop stains in his boxes. And so at this point, she's asking, how am I supposed to marry this man in the next couple of months? I mean, is this something I can live with? And when I bring it up, he's offended. Apparently, she says she brought the issue up, and he did not talk to her for 2 weeks. He was very upset and did not take it lightly at all. So now she is wondering if she should call off the wedding. She's wondering if this is something she can, someone will say, carry her cross. She's wondering if she should just let it go, or how best she can solve this problem. I can see we have some comments on Hope TV Real Talk Facebook page, and so we are going to read some so we can continue. So this one is from Samuel Corny, who says, very educative. Kwame Opoku John Mark says, good evening to you, Evie, and all the panelists. I think first of all, the guy should admit and acknowledge the problem and avail himself for grooming or correction. Nonetheless, the lady is under no obligation to proceed with the marriage if she deems the situation unbearable. Marriage is a lifetime journey. So Josephine Mensah-Jan says, oh, hi, Josephine. Josephine says, good evening, Evie and other panelists on Zoom and the studio. This is one of the educative and vital topics treated on Real Talk. He can be approached by the lady after the lady had started the guy, so he would change from there. Okay, so we have this also from Kojo Leisa, who says, Charlie, you can't kill yourself. Life is hard already. Okay, Vivian Sewa says, hey, serious, I laugh, sir. So we have this one from Abina Boachi, who says, aren't you lucky you are not yet married? Please advise yourself. So obviously you can see from the comments that people want her to just up and leave. People are asking how she can best approach the man and find a solution. So I'm coming to you again, Celeste, and I'm asking, do you think that this is a good enough reason to call off a wedding?
Okay, I wouldn't say it's a strong reason to call off the wedding.
Okay.
But it all depends on the change from the man.
Okay.
If he's willing to change, then the lady can assist him to change, and then they can go ahead with their marriage. But if he's not really willing to change, I don't see the need to go into a marriage. It's a lifetime something.
Right.
You can't enter and then come back. Just as we all know, a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage.
Right.
So if the guy is willing to change, why not? She can help him and then they can end up getting married. But if he's not, I don't see the need to.
So in your opinion, how long do you think she should stick it out and say, nah, Charlie, this is not for me?
I'll go back and say it depends on the change. Yeah, it all depends on the gentleman. If he's willing to change. You know, somebody can just change within some few months just to impress you, and then you go ahead with the marriage. But you know, you can't. It's a difficult issue. But if the guy is willing to change, why not? Sure, she can go ahead.
Okay, Madeline, coming to you. Is this a good enough reason to call off a marriage?
Yes. I mean, yes. Any reason that you feel it's a good reason, it's a good reason, right? Because everybody's different. So maybe for her, that's a deal breaker. And if she feels like that's a deal breaker, that's a deal breaker. I think the answer is simply yes. Because marriage, you know, like my sister said, is lifetime. You don't get to go back after you've married him and said all of a sudden he's going to start taking a shower. If he doesn't want to take a shower now. But I think there's other things they can explore. Is there something else going on? Psychologically, he could be depressed. He could not, you know, there could be so many reasons. That's also, and that's why it's important to have that conversation without pointing fingers or without making him feel like you're attacking him, right? Yes, but I do think that you can break off the marriage if you feel like that's a deal breaker for you. You should be able to make that decision before you get into the marriage, and then you're miserable.
Right. Clement, is this a good enough reason to say, I am done, I can't continue with this relationship, I think you're too nasty for me to live with?
I think the answer is in two folds. And the other side, I would say no. So on the yes side, the lady has done all that she could do to save this relationship by trying to. And the guy on the other side, through stubborn, resist all this, then I would say yes, she has to pull out. Yeah. But only if trying to open up for information, said by Celeste. Because then I think there's hope. All hope is not lost. Yes, something can be done about it. Resolve before they can enter into the marriage realm. So I would say yeah. Only it also boils down to two parties how they deal with the problem. Yeah.
So it all boils down to how they solve the problem. Okay, so before we go, I just want us to look at this story in its entirety and look at how relationships in general has ups and downs, and how people will typically, because she said they've been together for a year, we always hear things like, oh, I can't do this anymore when you've been with the person for a year. A year is not, it's a long time. So I just want us to speak on the things to look out for when you enter a relationship. So you make your decisions then and then. You don't sit down and wait a year, then you go and date another person for a year. But then you realize so many years have passed and now you realize, oh, I can't be with him again. Because I believe when this guy approached then was mostly when guys are trying to court you. That's when they do their best. They take you out and everything. Did she see any of these things? Are we in a society where we do, oh, till we realize that we can't deal with it anymore? Just that part. I just wanted to speak a bit on that.
Okay, you see, I initially said most of the times ladies ignore red flags. Once they enter into a relationship and they think this is my last stop, my last stop, whatever she sees, she tries to, oh, he will change. But I feel in the first 3 months of your relationship, you should set things straight. You should know what you want in your man. So within that 3 months, if you feel you are not getting what you want in a man, I think you should just call it off. You shouldn't waste your time for a year. This lady has wasted a whole year and now she wants to pull out. So you go into another relationship and you also see red flags, you forget about it, and then you date the guy for a year and you want to pull out. It will get to a time you date like 5 guys in 5 years and you'll be pulling out. So I think the moment you enter into the relationship, sit the person down. Let the person know these are the things I need in a man.
Right.
The man should also vice versa. Let you know what he needs in his woman. Then if you can meet those agendas, then you can continue with the relationship.
Right. Clemens, coming to you with the same question. Red flags and how we choose to ignore them sometimes.
I would say many situations you see their heart. When a couple are in a relationship, one you place on the scale of 1 to 10. They have gone into the relationship. You see that one will be a par or one will be higher than the other. His or her heart is much in the relationship, and he's not trying in this contest. It's for us to assess our strengths and weaknesses. Just set by whilst we are moving in one way or the other, we have for weakness. We have to point them out and find a way of dealing with them. Not try to use our to. That's a mistake that a lot of couples do. The dating process involves by picking out our strengths, picking out and trying to solve them along.
Okay, Nadeline, please let's speak on red flags, because we've realized that most of the relationship stories that even come on the Real Talk table is about, and he did this and I don't want to be with him again, and I didn't see, or I probably saw but I thought he would change. And you've been with someone for a year who doesn't like, I'm sure there have been occasions where you've smelled him weird. He's acted, you know, and did it have to take a year? And now marriage is in, parents are involved, church, you are now trying to pull out. And yes, a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage, but can we speak on red flags and maybe how we can just deal with them in the early stages of the relationship to avoid all these trauma later on?
Come on. Hi. So, yes, red flags are red flags, everybody, ladies, men, gentlemen, whomever you are, and you're listening. There is no easy way to deal with red flags but to just attack it. I think, you know, we talk about it all the time. In order to want better, you must do better, right? And if you pick up on a red flag, that's a red flag. That's your subconscious almost telling you that that's a problem. If it's a problem, you deal with it, and you deal with it right then and there without it even becoming an issue, because if you don't, then it will become an issue. A lot of the issues that become issues are already issues in the beginning of all relationships, whether it's friendships, relationships, whatever ship you're in, there are always those things. You have to address them head on. I mean, that's my belief, that you have to address it head on, because if you don't, then you're just kind of almost wasting your time and making an investment into something that you think is going to change, and it's never going to change. Ever.
Right. Thank you. Celestina, your final words for this couple.
Okay, so my final words. If the lady decides to go ahead with this marriage, she really has a lot of work to do. She really needs patience and time. And I think she should ask herself these personal questions. Can I do this? Am I physically or psychologically ready to deal with this man? I just pray God change this man for the lady.
Okay, so to the man, what advice would you give him?
Okay, to the man, I think he should accept there is a problem.
Okay.
So that he gets help. He needs help. He really needs help, because at his age, getting ready for marriage, I think he should be around his late 20s or his early 30s.
Right.
So you should know how to clean yourself well. You should know, at least you should take your bath twice a day, brush your teeth, and all those stuff. So he should learn personal hygiene. There are a lot of journals on the internet and everything. He should just go online. Whatever he doesn't know, I think he's talking out of ignorance, because he thinks bathing a lot can peel off his body bacteria. I think he doesn't know.
Okay.
So he should go online and read on them so that he will know what is best for his body.
Right, right. Clement, final words for the woman and then for the gentleman. And any advice for the gentleman?
Okay, so my advice to the lady first is that all hope is not lost. You are investing in this relationship. She needs to do what she's been doing. And I also say much on the approach of which she will use to address the red flags to the guy. Second, on the side of the guy too, I would advise him saying that he should shun away from the boys quote of it's normal. Okay, it's fine, it's normal. It's normal is when you are single. When you are alone, living in your single bedroom apartment. But when it's not normal is when somebody...
Oh, I think we are missing Clement there for a second. So I'll come to you, Nadeline. Your final words to the woman and then your final advice to this young man.
Okay. So I think the best advice is, because she's in the relationship, she's already invested time, find the root of the problem. The root of the problem can be something simple as something mental health going on, something that he may not know that is happening. Be encouraging, talking, using I statements, doing all of those things that I've said about before. And doing things together, that's cleanliness, taking a shower together, or after you get married, encouraging him to also do those same type of things and making it important. And then the advice is just don't ignore these red flags, whatever it may be, whether it's about cleanliness or it's about communication, it's about whatever. Do not ignore red flags, because red flags are red flags. It's what it is. Right.
What do you have to tell the man?
Listen to your girl, man. Listen to what she's saying. 9 out of 10 times, I have come to understand that a lot of men tend to battle hearing advice from a woman and really going with it. But we're right. This is not a feminist movement, but we're right. Listen to somebody telling you something like that, obviously cares about you, because anybody else would just walk away without bringing it up.
That's true.
Listen to her. Listen to her.
Unfortunately, I still cannot hear from Clement, and so I can't check in with him. Because it's the first episode for the new year, I'd ask my guests to say hi to friends and family. Greetings from abroad, but I'll start with the Ghanaian. So let's do that. Greetings, whoever you want to say hi to.
Okay, I would like to say hi to my dad and mom, Elder and Mrs. Asiedu from Holy Hill SDA. My husband, Kofi Owusu, he's also outside the country.
Okay.
My friends, I have a friend, Elijah Nana Dudakun from Agape SD Temple.
Okay.
My siblings and all my loved ones.
And all your loved ones. Natalie, yours is the proper greetings from abroad. Please, let's hear it.
So I don't know if I have too many to say hello to, but hello everybody in Ghana and everywhere else. I pray everybody's doing well and having a happy 2022. Stay safe, stay vigilant, be prayerful, all of that, and lots of love from here.
Okay, lots of love from Ghana to Clement. I hear you're in, so I'll take your final words, obviously, and the advice you wanted to give. Then your greetings to who or whomever you want to say hi to.
Okay, so we are in a new year. I hope every one of us has aspiration for the days ahead. So I'm hoping and praying hard that we all achieve our target for the year 2022, as we are hoping for the coming of the second coming of our Most High. I would advise every couple who is listening to me at this hour to invest much into their relationship, put in much effort, so that we can make a successful marriage. I will say hi to these people. Mr. Stephen Donko, Veronica Opoku, Ajimine, my guys at work, my colleagues at work, and my family members, most especially my dad and my mom. I will say Happy New Year to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So final words from me, obviously, is to the woman. I mean, as my amazing panelists have already said, red flags are red flags. Unfortunately, you've been in the relationship for a while. And one thing I know is that whatever issues you were facing before marriage, when you get married, they are going to seem bigger than they were before. They're going to multiply. And so if you need to deal with this issue, please deal with it heads on before you enter the union of marriage. Because you even can't stand it. Imagine having to sleep on the same bed with this man, having to live in the same space, doing laundry, having to eat with him every single day, having friends come over, family come over. And there's going to be a time will come you resent him. And you obviously will not show the love, and the marriage will be strained, and that is too much trouble. And for the young man, I am sure you do not want to be the one people point and laugh at in spaces. If you're working, I'm sure you're working in your corporate environment. I am sure you do not want to be the one that when you are coming, everybody will pass, and then all of a sudden, people have disappeared from the room immediately you entered. You do not want to be, oh, papa na no hobono, papa na. You know, when you are coming and you're talking to people, now we even wear masks. So I'm wondering if when you speak, you don't smell it yourself. I mean, when you get close to people and you want to talk, they all of a sudden seem busy. Honestly, dirtiness or being filthy is one of the things that will draw people away from you. And there's one thing that Clement said that is really true. The friends that are not letting you know this is what is going on in your life are not the friends you want. You growing up, you want friends that are not just yes people, but friends that will give you the real honest truth that, oh, this is going on with you and you need to work it out. And please don't be offended when it's brought to you. Remember that it's only those who love you that will tell you exactly what is going on. I also like to say happy birthday in advance to Justice. Justice is one of our best guys at Hope TV Ghana. He's our manager, please. So happy birthday in advance, Justice. God bless you. May this be your best year yet. May we see plenty money this year. And then I pray for grace and favor. And to all my amazing guests out there, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my audience, those who tune in every Wednesday. God richly bless you. Mrs. Sethina Ifwa Arthur, you're a special girl of my own heart. God bless you so much for all that you continue to do. Josephine, you got married not long ago. Congratulations again. And all my loved ones, as Celestina said, all my friends and loved ones. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back same time next week with another interesting conversation. If you have any story, if you're going through anything, any topic whatsoever, relationships, career, finances, please send your story to us to our WhatsApp number or email address. You can even send a direct message to us on Facebook, Hope TV Ghana, Instagram, Hope TV Ghana, and we will be sure to get you the right people to have a great conversation. Thank you to my amazing panelists. Celestina, thank you so much. Nadalene, I can see you're busy at work, but you found time to join us. Thank you so much. Clemens, thank you. God richly bless you for your dedication to his work. Enjoy the rest of your day, and please do stay safe out there. And enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV Ghana as well. Good evening.